You can get an Uzi? We can't even get Uzis over here. I mean, I guess you could. You'd probably go to jail, though, but... What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new reaction, and welcome to the first reaction of 2024. It feels good to be back. We are currently in my living room, just a very temporary setup, while we're still working on getting a new house ready and all that. Which, by the way, we just posted a video over on Anna and JT updating y'all on the process of getting our new house and everything. So for now, this is the setup, and today we're watching UK gun laws explained. This is the one thing I have absolutely no idea how it works in the UK. We have never done a reaction to learning the UK gun laws. Now, of course, I know they're extremely strict, especially compared to here in America. Because as y'all know, I'm an American. I live in Kentucky, a really small rural town. I'm out here in the country, in the woods. Probably everybody I know owns at least one gun around here. Now, 99% of them are strictly used for hunting, because hunting's so big around here, deer hunting, squirrel hunting, and all that stuff. So guns, they're extremely common around here. Like, even I own a couple guns. I don't hunt. All mine are strictly for, like, target shooting and shooting clay pigeons and stuff like that. Like, I can honestly say I don't think I've ever seen one person, like, in my small town openly carry, like, a handgun on their hip or something. Like, you would think it being a small town in America, you would see it everywhere. But around here, I truly don't think I've ever seen one person. Now, that doesn't mean they're not concealed carrying. Who knows? My entire town could be concealed carrying. I'd never know. If they are, I guess they're doing a good job at it. Like I said, I know a lot of people that own guns. I own guns myself. I've bought guns from different places, so I've been through, like, pretty much every process you can to purchase a gun in America. So it's gonna be interesting to, like, compare that to the UK's laws. So we're about to get into it. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Drop a like if you want to see more reactions like this. Of course, go check out all of my other channels linked down in the description. Go check out the Twitch. We've been going live, like, pretty much every day. We're having a lot of fun over there playing games, just hanging out with you guys. It's been an absolute blast. So if you want to catch a couple streams, the Twitch is linked down in the description, but other than that, let's get into it.
Welcome to Adam Explains, where I break down tough topics and give you the facts. Before we begin, if I could take this time to request that you like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy this video. But without further ado, let's get into it. Guns are heavily restricted in the UK, but contrary to what many people believe, including many Brits, owning a firearm is not illegal. On average, Britain has 6.5 guns per 100 people, compared to the USA, which has 101 guns per 100 people.
Wow. What? Whoa. That's crazy. Honestly, 6.5 guns to 100 people in the UK, that's pretty shocking to me. Like, I did not think, like, barely anybody owned guns over there. So even that number's pretty high to me. I say that, then we're sitting over here with 101.
According to the Small Arms Survey.
Wow.
Unlike the Americans with the Second Amendment, gun ownership in the UK is a privilege, not a right. Whether or not this is the right...
It's a privilege, not a right. Dude, that's the best way to explain it right there. That explained everything. It's a privilege to own a gun in the UK, not a right like it is in America. That explains everything. Like, that's the best way I've ever heard somebody put it.
Right approach is not up for debate in this video, but feel free to discuss it at length in the comments section. Firearms control in the UK is among the toughest in the world, and firearms offences continue to make up less than 0.2% of recorded crime. As you would expect with such low gun ownership, gun-related deaths are incredibly rare. According to the Geneva Declaration of Armed Violence and Development, it stands at 1 death per million people per year.
Wow. Wow. That is insane. That's actually crazy. One gun-related death per 1 million deaths. Like,
UK population is around about 56 million people, and that only adds up to around 50 to 60 gun homicides annually.
It is very sad to say, but America's probably hit that number already in 2024. Like, to be honest, we probably already hit that number. That's insane. That is so crazy.
Rules around gun ownership can vary depending on where you are in the UK, particularly in Northern Ireland, where due to the Good Friday Agreement the laws are much less restrictive and over 5% of the population own a firearm, though these gun owners are not permitted to transport their weapons to mainland Britain. So who in general can obtain a firearm? To possess or purchase a firearm, an individual in the UK must be assessed as not posing a threat to public safety by the police, who act as the licensing authority.
Makes sense, you know. If you seem like you might be a public threat, probably shouldn't give you a weapon, you know.
In addition, the individual must have a good reason to own a firearm and be able to demonstrate to the licensing authority that they require their firearm for work, sport or leisure on a regular legitimate basis, such as being a member of a target shooting club. The reason the police are the licensing authority is because they possess local information that helps inform their judgment, and discretion over what constitutes a good reason is often left up to chief officers.
See, that's something I think America should start doing. Leaving it up to people that actually have local information, because like pretty much everything else they've said so far about the process is pretty much the same here in America. You know, they do a background check, make sure you don't have any felonies or anything like that. So that's kind of like making sure you're not like a, you know, a threat to public safety or whatever. And then they also ask you like, what are you going to use this gun for? Are you going to hunt? Is it for leisure? You know, stuff like that. But the people asking you these questions are just the random workers at the place you're buying the gun from. Like I bought one of my guns from like a sports and outdoors place, and it was like an hour and a half process, you know, filling out all the paperwork, doing all the tests or whatever, doing the background check. But the dude that was doing it was just some random guy behind the counter who just clocked in for a shift, you know? He doesn't know anything about me. So I like how they actually use like local cops and stuff like that.
To own a firearm in the UK, a person must undergo a strict vetting procedure, which includes interviews, visits to the person's property, criminal record checks, and references from friends.
Wait, what? You have an interview and they come to your house? In the references part, that's what? Literally, all you have to do, you go in, you say, hey, I want to get that one. They're like, okay, do you have your ID? And then sometimes you have to bring like a piece of mail or something with you to like confirm your address or whatever. Then you fill out all the paperwork, they run their background check, and if your background check comes back and all your paperwork looks good, here you go. Here you go, swipe your card, it's yours now. So the fact y'all do sit-down interviews, they come to your house, and you gotta get references, like, that's a lot of extra steps, but I mean, we're talking about a deadly weapon here, so I actually like that. Like, I low-key wish America would start, like, going that in-depth when it comes to purchasing a gun here.
In addition, the applicant's GP may be contacted. Once a firearm license is issued and paid for, the licensed individual must store their gun securely to avoid access by any unlicensed person. What firearms may be licensed in the UK? Unless declared specially dangerous by the Firearms Dangerous Air Weapons Rules of 1969, low-powered air weapons are generally not licensed in England and Wales.
Right.
That means that if you purchase one of these, you do not require a license in order to possess it.
See, I don't think it would have to be like a very like specialty weapon, or maybe even like a handgun or something. I never purchased those before, so I don't know the process personally. But like the shotguns I bought and like the little 22 rifle I bought didn't need no license. I did not need a license at all. But even then, I'm pretty sure you don't need a license unless you're gonna like openly carry or conceal carry. So that's crazy that you have to get a license regardless of the gun you're getting in the UK. I mean, it makes sense, honestly. I wish like we should probably start doing that.
It is often said that handguns are outright banned, which is not strictly true. An individual may own long-barreled revolvers and long-barreled pistols, which are defined with a barrel of at least 30 centimeters in length, and that the firearm is at least 60 centimeters long. Long-barreled single-shot firearms of any caliber and semi-automatic pistols of 22 rimfire caliber are permitted with a firearm certificate. Those that do not meet these criteria would be considered a pistol in UK law and are effectively banned, with the exception of muzzle-loading pistols, including muzzle-loading revolvers, which are permitted as long as they meet the criteria set forth in the regulations.
So, it has to be longer than 12 inches for it not to be considered a pistol. Or like that's just what you can legally purchase over there. And then long-barreled single-shot firearms of any caliber and semi-automatic pistols of 22 rimfire. So basically it has to be single-shot or a revolver, has to have a long barrel, and then you can purchase it. So like no snub-nose revolvers, and then no actual pistols that take like a magazine. Got it. Gotcha.
All of the pistols are prohibited in Great Britain. Shotguns are legal on a shotgun certificate as long as they can't hold more than 3 shotgun shells, including the one in the chamber, if it's a pump action or semi-automatic shotgun.
See, that's a law for when you're hunting here in America. If you're hunting duck or whatever you're using the shotgun for, you can't have more than 3 shells. Even if it does hold more than 3 shells, you can't have more than 3. But that's only if you're hunting. Everywhere else, you know, if it holds 7 or 8 or however many, you can have it fully loaded. So yeah, that's kind of similar as over here, but it's only when you're hunting over here.
However, shotguns with a detachable magazine or larger fixed magazine are still permitted, but you'll have to obtain a Section 1 firearm certificate.
Gotcha.
Rifles are also permitted. These are defined by UK law as a rifled firearm with a barrel longer than 30 centimeters or 12 inches, and a total length of the rifle must be longer than 60 centimeters or 24 inches, and it must also not fall under the classification of a long barrel revolver or pistol. Rifles are permitted in any caliber size as long as it doesn't meet the definition of self-loading or pump action. Semi-automatic or pump action rifles are only permitted at a 22 rimfire caliber.
Oh. So, hang on, go back. So they're permitted in any caliber unless it's self-loading, so semi-automatic. See, that's completely different. But that makes sense though, because, you know, if you're using a rifle that's anything over a 22, most of the time, you know, you're probably going to be using it for hunting, and you're not going to be taking multiple shots anyways, like, you know, if you're deer hunting or whatever. Pretty much you got one shot and then that's about it, you know, so you don't need a self-loading or semi-automatic rifle. So that does make sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Action rifles are only permitted at a 22 rimfire caliber. What might surprise you is that under UK law, it is legal for you to own the following weaponry, with the correct licensing of course. The M&P 1522, which is based on the AR-15, H&K 416, semi-automatic 22 rimfire caliber MP5, Ruger 1022, Beretta ARX 160, and you can even own an Uzi as long as it's a 22 rimfire caliber.
Bro, so pretty much all of these are calibered in 22, so it's nothing like, you know, buying an AR over here that has like shoots 223 or whatever, a big old round. But still, the fact that if you get the correct licensing, you can get all these in the UK. That's so crazy to me. Because before this, I completely thought like anything that's not going to be used for like target practice, anything other than that, y'all couldn't get it. But the fact y'all can get MP5s, you can get an Uzi. We can't even get Uzis over here. I mean, I guess you could. You'd probably go to jail though, but that's pretty crazy. Wow.
As it's a 22 rimfire caliber. So next time someone says that the UK banned guns, we didn't, but we do strongly restrict and control who can own firearms and what firearms can be owned.
As it should be, you know, like yeah, I'm an American, you know. I know it's my right to bear arms or whatever, but let's be honest. Not everybody and their dang sister needs to be going in and just being able to purchase a weapon, you know. Like, yeah, we do the background checks and we do the whole process and everything, but it could be a lot more in-depth and a lot more, you can make it harder. You know, you can make it a lot harder. Like, two of my guns I bought from two different places. One was like in, it's called Academy. It's like a sports and outdoors place. And then the other one was a pawn shop. The sports and outdoors place, the process took like an hour, hour and a half. And that's just because that was my first time ever buying one from there. So like they needed all my information and all that. But it took like an hour, hour and a half to get it. The pawn shop? The pawn shop. Walked in, said, yeah, I want to get that one. He said, all right. 11 minutes later, like literally like 10, 11 minutes later, I was walking out the door with it. That fast. They did a background check and did everything they had to do. It was just super fast. So like the fact that y'all have to have interviews and they come to your house and then ask questions and then get references. It seems like a lot, but it would definitely be worth it, you know. But alright guys, that is going to do it for today's reaction. UK gun laws explained. I've needed to watch this video. I've always wondered how the gun laws in the UK work, and now I know. It's a lot different than I expected. Yeah, it's a long process, I bet, and there's a lot that goes into it. A lot of licenses that you gotta get and everything like that. But that's pretty cool. I did not know that. If y'all want to see more reactions like this, let me know by hitting that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Go check out all my other channels. We've been posting on all of them pretty consistently, so y'all go check them out. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Make sure to go out today, spread love, spread kindness, do something nice somebody today. I love you guys so much. I really do. JTReacts, I'm out. Peace.